They tell you to be the loudest voice in the room to get noticed. They tell you to play a game with a specific set of rules, a predictable script designed for mass appeal. But what if the most powerful move is to refuse to play at all? What if your silence speaks louder than their shouts, and your unpredictability is the most potent aphrodisiac? Welcome to the Sigma male community, the one place that understands that true power isn't performed for an audience. It's embodied in solitude. Today we delve into the unconventional, the things that defy the common playbook of attraction. We are going to dissect the 11 weird, almost counterintuitive things that Sigma males do, often without a second thought, that women not only notice but find deeply, primally enjoyable. These aren't tricks or tactics. They are the natural byproducts of a man who lives by an internal code, a man who has mastered his own mind and actions. This is about understanding the potent magnetism of authenticity in a world saturated with performance. 1. The silent intensity treatment. Most men feel an anxious need to fill every moment of silence with chatter, believing that conversation equals connection. The Sigma male, however, understands that true connection happens in the spaces between words. He weaponizes silence, not as an aggressive tactic, but as a tool of profound observation and presence. When he is with a woman, he isn't frantically thinking of the next clever thing to say. He is simply there, absorbing her words, her micro-expressions, the energy she puts into the room. This silence isn't empty, it's charged with focus. It's the calm, deep water that reflects everything, rather than the babbling brook that only makes noise. He speaks only when his words have weight, purpose, and value, making every utterance an event rather than part of a continuous, meaningless stream. This controlled economy of speech is a direct reflection of a mind that is uncluttered and self-assured, a mind that finds its validation from within, not from the constant approval of others. For a woman, being on the receiving end of this silent intensity is an unervingly attractive experience. In a world where she is constantly bombarded with noise and men vying for attention, his focused quiet is a signal of immense strength. It makes her feel truly seen and listened to on a level that transcends superficial conversation. That deep, unwavering eye contact, paired with a calm demeanor, cuts through the social static and creates an intimate bubble for just the two of them. It communicates that he is not intimidated, not needy, and not performing for her. He is grounded in his own reality, and he has invited her into it. This powerful, nonverbal validation tells her that he perceives her essence, not just the persona she presents, creating a magnetic pull that is both mysterious and deeply reassuring. She doesn't just hear him, she feels his presence, and it's a vibration of pure, unadulterated confidence. 2. The compliment famine with strategic feasts. The average man uses compliments like cheap currency, throwing them around in the hope of buying a moment of affection or approval. He compliments her hair, her dress, her smile, often with a transparent agenda. The Sigma male operates on a completely different economy of admiration. He is a keen observer of human nature, noticing the subtle details that most men miss entirely. The resilience in her voice when she talks about a past struggle, the spark of intellect in her eyes when she solves a problem, the quiet integrity in her actions when no one is watching. He sees all of it, but he holds his praise in reserve, treating it not as a tool for seduction, but as a recognition of earned virtue. This scarcity is not a game of withholding. It is a commitment to absolute sincerity. Because of this compliment famine, when he finally does offer praise, it lands with the force of a thunderclap. It's never generic or superficial. It is a targeted, specific observation about her character, her mind, or her inner strength. He won't say, "You look nice." He will say, "The way you navigated that difficult conversation with such grace was impressive." This kind of compliment is unforgettable because it's not about her appearance, which she knows is fleeting. It's about her core, the very fabric of who she is. It tells her that he sees beyond the surface and values the qualities that truly matter. This strategic feast of genuine admiration becomes an event, a moment of profound recognition that builds a level of respect and tension that 1,000 shallow compliments could never hope to achieve. It feels like an earned prize, not a cheap handout. 3. The Anti-Clockwork Courtship. Modern dating is governed by a set of unwritten but widely followed rules. The 3-day rule for texting back, the expected sequence of dates, the pressure to escalate physically at a certain pace. The Sigma male is utterly indifferent to this clockwork. He moves at the speed of his own genuine interest and internal assessment, not at the speed dictated by societal expectations. His pace can feel glacial to some and refreshingly deliberate to others. He won't bombard a woman with good morning texts or push for a second date the very next day simply because it's what he's supposed to do. His communication is purpose-driven. If he has something to say, he says it. If he doesn't, he remains silent, comfortable in his own world and his own thoughts. This isn't aloofness for the sake of creating mystery, it's a natural filter. This unnerving patience and deviation from the script forces a woman to disengage from her dating autopilot. She can't predict his next move, which creates a powerful sense of anticipation and intrigue. It makes her wonder, is he interested? What is he thinking? This mystery is compelling because it's authentic. She intuits that his deliberate pace is a sign of a man who is assessing genuine compatibility, not just trying to rush to a predetermined finish line. When he does make a move, when he does arrange a date, or when he does choose to be intimate, it feels infinitely more significant. It feels like a conscious, deliberate choice, not a step in a formula. This slow burn, built on substance and mutual respect, makes the eventual connection feel earned and volcanic, precisely because it was never, for a single moment, rushed. For the unapologetic style Anomaly. Fashion for most people is a language of conformity, a way to signal which tribe they belong to. They wear the logos, follow the trends, and dress to be accepted by their peers. The Sigma male dresses for an audience of one, himself. His style is a pure, unapologetic extension of his identity and his purpose, and he is completely indifferent to the fashion industrial complex. You might find him in a perfectly tailored vintage coat that looks like it belongs to another era, or head to toe in minimalist, functional black, or wearing rugged gear suited for an obscure hobby he is passionate about, regardless of the social setting. His clothes serve him and his mission, not the other way around. There is zero desire to impress or fit in. This isn't a loud rebellion, it's a quiet declaration of self-possession. This absolute confidence in his own aesthetic is intensely alluring to a discerning woman. It screams that he is a man who defines his own reality, a man whose sense of self is so solid that he is immune to the fleeting whims of the herd. His style is a physical manifestation of his stoic mindset. He focuses on what is useful, what has quality, and what reflects his inner state, and he is indifferent to everything else. It's a walking, breathing statement that says, "This is who I am. I have curated myself according to my own principles. Take it or leave it." In a world of carbon copies and trend chasers, this raw, unshakable authenticity is a powerful form of catnip. It signals a man who is not just a character in the story but the author of his own. 5. The emotional fortress with secret passages. The Sigma male projects an aura of unshakable calm. While others are swept away by tides of drama, anxiety, and emotional reactivity, he remains a bedrock of stability. He doesn't outsource his emotional processing, seeking constant reassurance or validation when faced with a storm. He has built a deep and resilient inner architecture, a fortress of the mind where he can weather challenges with rational thought and self-control. This isn't about being a cold, unfeeling robot. It's about being the master of his own emotional state. He understands that most external events are neutral and that his reaction is the only thing that gives them power. This stoic resilience makes him a safe harbor in a chaotic world, a point of stability that is incredibly rare and valuable. But here is the secret that women discover over time. This fortress is not impenetrable. It has secret passages, and access is granted only to those who have earned his deepest trust. When a woman proves herself to be a loyal and worthy partner, he reveals a side of himself that the rest of the world never sees. He will show profound empathy, offer incredibly thoughtful support, and demonstrate an unwavering loyalty that is fierce and protective, all without ever sacrificing his core stability. This contrast is wildly compelling. The strong, self-contained exterior combined with a deep, warm, and accessible interior reserved only for her makes a woman feel uniquely chosen, profoundly trusted, and completely secure within his inner sanctum. She hasn't conquered his fortress, she has been given the key. Think your independence is intimidating? Good. That's the point. Whether you're a Sigma decoding your own power or someone fascinated by them watching this channel, understand this. The very traits society might call weird or aloof are your superpower in authentic attraction. Women worth your time aren't scared by depth, they're starved for it. They crave the man who doesn't play the game because he's building something realer. Your deliberate choices, your quiet intensity, your unshakable self-focus, they aren't barriers. They're filters separating the superficial from the substantial. On your code. The right woman isn't just waiting, she's actively seeking the signal only you broadcast. Now back to the weirdness they secretly love. 6. The challenge architect. Many men believe the path to a woman's heart is paved with agreement and flattery. They become sycophants, nodding along to everything she says, terrified of offering a dissenting opinion. The Sigma male sees her not as a fragile object to be placated, but as an individual with a mind to be engaged. He acts as a challenge architect, not by negging or belittling her, but by building an intellectual and emotional sparring mat built on mutual respect. He will pose thoughtful questions that make her reconsider her own assumptions. He will present intellectual puzzles or playfully test her boundaries, not to be difficult, but to discover her mettle, her depth, her unique fire. He is genuinely curious about how her mind works and what she truly stands for. This form of respectful provocation is exhilarating for an intelligent woman. It signals that he sees her as a genuine equal, a worthy counterpart, not just a passive prize to be won with hollow praise. This intellectual friction creates a dynamic tension that is far more stimulating than a boring, frictionless interaction. He isn't trying to tear her down. He is inviting her to step up, to be the sharpest, most authentic version of herself. This challenge is a profound compliment in disguise. It says, I see your potential and I am not intimidated by it. In fact, I want to see more of it. It creates a partnership dynamic where both individuals sharpen each other, a thrilling prospect for any woman who has grown bored of men who are too afraid to engage her on every level. 7. The self-validation machine. The modern world is a frantic race for external validation. Men chase likes on social media, pursue status symbols to signal their worth, and mold their personalities to fit the expectations of others. They are powered by an external engine, constantly in need of fuel from the applause of the crowd. The Sigma male is a self-contained system. He operates on an internal furnace, deriving his sense of worth, his motivation, and his purpose from within. His goals are his own. His passions are pursued for their own sake. His sense of accomplishment is measured against his own internal standards of excellence. This radical self-sufficiency is a quiet but powerful broadcast of his high value. A woman can sense this immediately. She senses that he is a man who is already whole and complete on his own. He doesn't need her to fix him, to complete him, or to validate his existence. This paradoxically makes his desire for her infinitely more powerful and flattering. Because he doesn't need her, his choice to be with her is a genuine act of desire, a gift freely given rather than a transaction for approval. This creates a relationship dynamic that is gloriously free from the poisons of neediness, jealousy, and insecurity. It allows for a partnership between two sovereign individuals, chosen from a position of strength and abundance, not from a place of desperation and lack. 8. The perspective hacker. Most people see the world through a pre-installed operating system of conventional wisdom, societal narratives, and herd mentality. Their conversations are often just a recycling of opinions they have absorbed from others. The Sigma male has spent his life jailbreaking this operating system. He sees the world through a uniquely calibrated lens, constantly dismantling assumptions, questioning the status quo, and analyzing patterns that others miss. A conversation with him is not just an exchange of information, it is an exploration. He offers insights that feel like discovering a secret door in a familiar room, presenting fresh angles on everything from art and politics to the simple dynamics of daily life. For a woman who is intellectually curious, this is pure adrenaline. He challenges her worldview not in a combative or arrogant way, but in a way that is stimulating and horizon-expanding. He doesn't just have opinions, he has a framework of thought, a process of analysis that she can witness in real time. He makes the mundane fascinating and the complex understandable. This ability to hack perspectives and reframe reality is deeply attractive because it signals a mind that is perpetually alive, curious, and in motion. It promises a partnership where boredom is an impossibility, a continuous journey of mutual discovery where both of their worlds become larger and more interesting simply by being together. 9. The principal anchor, even when it sucks. In a world of shifting sands, where people change their beliefs and values to suit the situation or to gain social favor, the Sigma male is an anchor. He operates according to a deeply ingrained internal compass, a set of core principles that are non-negotiable. This integrity is his true north. He will walk away from a profitable business deal if it feels unethical. He will distance himself from a social circle if it violates his code. He will even end a promising romantic connection if he feels it would require him to compromise his fundamental self. To the outside world, this can look like stubbornness, inflexibility, or even self-sabotage. But a discerning woman sees it for what it truly is: unwavering, rock-solid authenticity. The steadfastness is profoundly reassuring. She sees a man whose yes is a binding contract and whose no is an immovable wall. This consistency builds a foundation of immense trust. She knows, without a shadow of a doubt, exactly who he is and what he stands for, even when, and especially when, it is inconvenient or unpopular. In a dating world filled with chameleons who change their colors to please, his refusal to compromise his principles is the ultimate sign of reliability. It signals that he is a man of his word, a man of deep conviction, and a man who can be counted on to be the same person tomorrow as he is today. That kind of integrity is the bedrock of any truly lasting and secure relationship. 10. The growth catalyst. The Sigma male is a relentless project of self-improvement, but not out of a sense of insecurity or inadequacy. His drive for growth comes from a place of pure, insatiable curiosity and a desire to become the most capable version of himself. He is constantly dissecting his own failures to extract lessons, devouring knowledge on a wide array of subjects, and acquiring new skills, not to show them off, but to add them to his personal arsenal. This journey of evolution isn't something he brags about. It's something he quietly and consistently lives. He embodies the Stoic ideal that the ultimate purpose is to constantly strive for virtue and wisdom. This relentless pursuit of growth is powerfully contagious. A woman in his presence feels herself subtly inspired to rise to a higher standard. He doesn't lecture her or tell her what she should do. Instead, he naturally encourages her own ambitions simply by being so dedicated to his. He becomes a partner in her evolution, challenging her intellectually and providing the stable support she needs to pursue her own growth. The relationship ceases to be a space for comfortable stagnation and transforms into a dynamic crucible for mutual becoming. This shared journey, this implicit promise of a future that will be richer, deeper, and more exciting than the present, is one of the most irresistible things he can offer. 11. The mystery core. In an age of oversharing where people broadcast every meal, thought, and emotion online, the Sigma male retains a core of profound mystery. This isn't a calculated game of hard to get. It is the natural and effortless byproduct of a man with a rich inner life who feels no compulsion to put it all on display. He has deep passions, obscure knowledge, and past experiences that he doesn't feel the need to explain or justify to anyone. He shares parts of himself selectively, not as a test, but as a natural unfolding that happens with time and earned trust. This controlled vulnerability, this sense that there are always more layers to discover, keeps a woman perpetually intrigued. He is not an open book that can be read in a single sitting. He is a fascinating and complex library with restricted sections that are only open to the most trusted of patrons. The joy for her is in the ongoing process of discovery, of being granted access to new rooms in his mind and soul at his pace. This sustained mystery is the fuel for long-term attraction, long after the initial spark of chemistry has faded. It signals a man of immense substance, with vast reserves of depth that are yet to be explored. The relationship never feels static because he himself is never static. The unknown parts of him become an exciting frontier to be explored together, not a threatening void, making the journey with him a perpetually compelling adventure. So there you have it. The 11 weird things that are not weird at all. They are markers of a self-possessed man. These are not tactics you can simply copy. They are the external results of an internal framework built on self-mastery, rational thought, and an indifference to meaningless external validation. They are the signals that cut through the noise, attracting women who are tired of the game and are looking for something real, something substantial. The world will tell you to be more outgoing, more agreeable, more predictable. But here at the Sigma male community, we know that your power lies in your refusal to conform. It lies in your quiet intensity, your unwavering principles, and your commitment to your own path. You don't need to change the signal, you just need to trust that the right person is searching for your unique frequency. This isn't just a video, it's a mirror. So do more than just watch. Engage with this community of like-minded men. Drop a comment below with the point that resonated with you the most, or share a weird trait you possess that you found to be unexpectedly effective. If this content provided true value, acknowledge it with a like and share it with a brother who is walking the same path of self-mastery. And if you have not already committed to this journey with us, subscribe and, most importantly, hit that notification bell. Don't do it just to get another video alert, but to stay connected to a network of men who are choosing substance over spectacle every single day. Stay sharp, stay sovereign, and continue to build your own reality.